The node editor provides 2D procedural textures that can be applied using planar, cylindrical, cubic, spherical, and front projection mapping. From the Add Node dropdown, we have our 2D texture selection. Let's go ahead and choose Turbulence 2D, which is turbulence is a common fractal noise type pattern used for texturing. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll double click and it gives me my Turbulence 2D options. I'm going to change the background color. We'll change the foreground color. And we can change the contrast. Let's go ahead and bump that up to 100%. We can see it updating right here. I'm going to keep the mapping on planar, but choose the x-axis, and then let's change the scale. Let's do 0.25, 0.25, and 0.25. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to link it to my color channel. And let's do an F9 render. Okay, close down our status window. On the left here we have the 2D turbulence, and on the right we have the 3D turbulence. As you can see, the 2D turbulence is treated more like an image map that has been mapped in one axis and then stretches down the other axis based on the pixel on the edge, right? Whereas the 3D turbulence seamlessly maps across the entire object. Using any of the 2D textures with planar mapping will give similar results. Here we've got the brick 2D texture and the brick 3D texture, and you can see the difference here. Again, it's mapping it as if it were just an image mapped in one axis. We've got checkerboard 2D and 3D, grid 2D and 3D, and turbulence 2D and 3D. Now we also have two new procedural textures, parquet and planks. These two textures are great for working on things like floor. So here I'm using the parquet procedural texture for a floor here, and planks as well. Now we're not limited to planar mapping with procedurals. I'll close down the preview render and come back to my options, and under mapping I have planar, spherical, cylindrical, front, and cubic. We'll choose cubic. Let's do another test render. Okay, and as you can see, it does map on all sides as you would expect cubic to do, except whereas on the 3D texture it is seamless and the pattern carries out throughout the object. Here we've got the same pattern being tiled. See this spot? Well, here it is here and here, and we've got the mirrored image right here. Kind of makes an ink blot, which you might want that effect. But it's not the same as a seamless texture that is carried over the entire object. So it's more like the 2D, like an image map, mapped using cubic. In an advancement over LightWave's 3D procedurals, the 2D procedurals can also be applied directly to a UV map. I'll open up the surface editor, choose Edit Nodes, and let's add a 2D texture node. I'm going to use Turbulence. I'm going to link it to the color channel over here on my surface node. I'm going to double click, choose the same color scheme that we did before, the blue and white, increase the contrast to 100%. Under mapping, I'm going to choose UV map. I'm going to choose the UV map on the object that I want to apply it to, and then I no longer have size down here, but I can control the size of the procedural with tiling, with my U and V tiling. So I'm going to just change that to 15 for each, and let's do test render. Close this, and as we can see, we've got a procedural texture mapped onto this object using a UV map. Being able to apply a procedural texture directly to a UV map gives you more options when texturing your object.